with a very soft approach. 吃软不吃硬，你越硬，他就跟你越硬。Okay? Capricorn. And then you have the last two signs, Aquarius, the water bearer. This one is a male sign. So the male sign, the males born under this sign, they like to be liked. So you ask him what he would prefer. His answer is always whatever lah. If you like it, I will also like it. That is their answer. Okay? The females in this sign, because it is a male sign, right? So the females reenact. So what does that mean? They pretend. Okay? So if she tells you that, yeah, she wouldn't mind going for Japanese for dinner. She says that, I wouldn't mind Japanese for dinner. But the truth is that whether she actually minds or not is very hard to say, because this sign, the ruling planet is Uranus. Uranus is represented by lightning. Lightning, can we predict where it will strike? Not really. We can have a rough idea of where it would strike and what it would do in what kind of circumstance. But most of the time, it's a 50-50 chance that we are right, 50-50 chance we are wrong. So it's the same thing applies with Aquarius females. They are not reliable. They can't help it, it's their nature. The last sign, Pisces. This is a story of two fish tied together. This is actually Venus and her sun. Okay, so the story goes like this. Venus was at the seaside having some mother-child time with her child, and then along comes a monster, and she got frightened and didn't want to get separated from her kid, so she took him and they both jumped into the sea to escape the monster. But because the sea waves were so strong, she tied a string to him. That explains this line here. She tied a string to the child so that they will never be separated. So in human life, that translates into symbiotism. That means the relationship very suffocating one. Okay, where I go, you must go. Where you go, I must go. So there's no personal space, no nothing. So if you look at the symbols that people write, one head is here, one fish head is here, upside down. Okay, this is a male female. This is a female sign. Yeah, it's a female sign. Okay, it's a female sign. So the females born under this sign, a great example is Mother Teresa. She is always in service to others. Correct or not? I mean, she helped so many homeless children. She ran so many orphanages. She provided for all of them. She's a fantastic person. So therefore, we can easily say that the female Pisces is a very capable person. She may run around like a chicken without a head and tell you the sky is falling, but actually she can count in everything she wants, like that. She just needs to snap the finger one time, everybody will help her. Okay? The male in this sign is what I call the holy man. Why? Basically, they are people who 什么都看过了. So they are not easily shocked, not easily surprised. They are very accepting, very forgiving. They're very okay with everything. So to the point where it looks like this fella is very lam, like a bit like lacking in backbone. Now, the things that I've told you about the 12 signs, you will not get the same description elsewhere, anywhere that you read. I wouldn't say I'm right and they are wrong. I'm just saying that this is my understanding of the signs, and so far it has never proven wrong. Okay, so I'm just sharing my observations with you that I've accumulated through my years of practice. I started in this line when I was late teens, but that was out of curiosity. Okay, my dad was teaching me when I was younger, and then I wasn't really interested. In my late teens, I started reading for friends, but that was just for fun. It was only when I got retrenched, then I went into it as a business. It's almost 3 decades now already. I know I look very young, okay, but I've been in this almost 3 decades. Now, we have talked about the 12 signs, yeah? I want to teach you something. We're going to end off with this one, okay? Aries to Pisces, there's a sign H one, if you want to know more about their personality, okay? Just write this down for you. That's, if you can see, that's Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Correct? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. We call this mental psyche. How they think, their mentality. First sign of the zodiac, 0 to 7 years old. So what is an Aries person like? Like a child. They don't think things properly. When they want something, they just want something. And if they don't get it, they show temper, right? They don't have very matured forms of expression, so to speak. Taurus, 7 to 14 years old. So what do people think about at that age? Play, 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 play. Correct? But of course, the Aries will want to play more than the Taurus. It's just a different kind of playing. Okay? At the age of 7 to 14, we are busy exploring right now. Exploring what? Boundaries with our parents. We are busy exploring the differences in our body, because that's about when you go through puberty and your body starts to change. Okay? This one, Gemini, is 14 to 21. So everybody born under the sign of Gemini, their mentality is somewhat 14 to 21 years old. And you just keep adding 7 years to every sign. People born under Cancer, what are they doing? Always thinking about setting up home, because at that age is when you get married. Leo, 28 to 35. What do you think of at that time? Career. Virgo, 35 to 42. What do you think of at that time? You want to build more on your career even. You want to gain, what do you call that? A solid standing. Okay. Libra, 42 to 49. On the way down already. Then Scorpio, 49 to 56. Premenstrual. Sagittarius, 56 to 7 years is 63. Right? Capri, 63 to 70, 70 to 77, 77 to 84. So if you look at all these personalities and their correlating sign age, you may see that you can actually tell a lot of information about a person born under that sign just based on this page alone. Now, can we allow them to have unmute so that at least, there's some interaction here? How do we do that, Jana?
Everyone can press your own button to unmute if you have any questions.
Yeah, because I think we end here. It's a lot of information. And also because we have gone way over the 40 minutes, I just hope you guys don't mind. Yeah. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them now. What do I do? I have to cancel the stop share. Okay. Yeah. No questions. I explained so well.
You can unmute. If those who can't unmute, right, or you are shy to unmute, you can actually key in at the group chat. I will be your voice. There's a chat there. There's a chat button, so you can either key in or you can just unmute your mic and ask Esther a question.
Oh, I cannot unmute them. They have to unmute themselves.
We didn't disable the. We didn't disallow them to unmute. So basically, everyone can just click at the mic button and then you can unmute already.
Okay. So if anyone has any questions, I'm quite happy to take them now. Oh, I'm finally looking at the chat.
Esther, I'm so old. I'm Aquarius.
So what is your question?
So does that mean that I'm low tech or what? Like when young already, like woman.
Okay, I have news for the women born under the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius. As you get older, you actually get younger. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It's automatic one. So even if you don't use skincare, you eat crap food, you live in a country where there are 4 seasons. You know, the climate can do a lot of damage to your skin, right? So even if you live in that kind of climate, right, as you get older, you get younger. In terms of looks, in terms of thinking, in terms of lifestyle. Sure, right?
Oh, I can't wait to get old, man.
When you get old is when you get younger. Nice. Okay, people who are born, women especially, born under the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, your life happens backwards. Everybody else is born young and then they grow old, correct? For Capricorn and Aquarius is the other way around. They are born old and then they grow younger.
So lucky. I like it.
Yeah. Some rising Capricorns and some rising Aquarians, they are very ugly when they are born. I think recently there was a picture of a baby girl that was born in hospital with a terrible frown that was going around on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that baby is a Capricorn baby.
She looked like she doesn't want to be born, actually.
Exactly. That is the message that Aquarius females and Capricorn females especially give to the world. I don't want to be born. Why am I being born? Put me back. Send me back. I don't want to be here. And then they start with their temper tantrums right from the moment they are born. And they are quite difficult to take care of when young. Their health constitution just gets stronger as they get older. That is for Capricorn and Aquarius. Another interesting thing that I've observed about these two signs is that before the age of 29, they must have an accident involving the head. If they don't have this accident, chances of them living beyond 29 is quite slim. Or if they manage to live beyond 29, then their life is not, they don't have a very strong hold on life. Interesting, eh?
For both Capricorn and Aquarius as well?
That is for Capricorn and Aquarius.
Oh, okay.
Because they share the same ruling planets. Capricorn's ruling planet is Saturn. Okay? Aquarius, their ruling planet, they have 2. Saturn and Uranus.
Interesting. I fell down when I was young. I fell down from the stairs at my house, and then I still got the scar now at my eyebrow.
You're Aquarius, are you?
Yeah.
Hey, can we have everybody on video?
Show your
can we
face.
set that on? Yeah, you've all seen my face all this time. At least let me see your face lah. Yeah. Okay, you want to point out where your scar on your eyebrow is? Jana?
Huh? Somewhere here, lor.
Okay. One thing I have noticed, Aquarians will have the scar on the eyebrow.
Huh, is it?
Yeah. It's all above the eyeline. Okay. Capricorns will have it on the back of the head. It applies to rising sign as well. So for those of you here who are rising Capricorns, I think some of you here are, try and remember, did you or did you not have an accident as a child that involved injury to your head, that involved bloodletting? That means you must go for sewing up the wound one. You see Jana's frown, that is so typical Aquarian. Okay. Any other questions? I mean, there's so much about astrology to share, seriously. I started in Western Astro because, number one, I'm English speaking. It's a lot easier for me to pick up. And then when I ventured into Party, then of course I blended the two. It made it even more interesting for me. But my core is still always Western Astro. So there's a lot of data to share. It's a matter of what you guys are interested in.
Esther, I want to ask about the polarity as well.
Okay.
Because, for instance, both my sun and my rising, right, is also the male polarity. So just now you were talking about reenactment. So like kind of like pretending to be that version.
Okay.
What is the bad effects of it? Besides, like, is there a certain age that we can finally no need to reenact and can be ourselves? That kind of thing.
It's a natural pattern one. It's a natural thing that you will express. What is your rising sign?
Leo.
Your rising Leo. What is your sun sign? Your son, your child.
My child? Aquarius.
So you are a rising Leo, sun Aquarius.
Mm.
Your son, your child?
My child? No, no
Oh,
child.
when you said your son earlier, you meant your sun sign.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about your son. I was like trying to remember whether or not you have a child. Okay. So
Not here yet.
your rising Leo is who you are. Okay. Your sun sign is who you must learn to become. Okay, I'm going to share screen because I think this gets interesting. I want to teach you all one more thing here, since we're here. Okay. You see, your rising sign, your AC, right? It is who you are. No matter what sign sits here on the AC, you will have both the negative and the positive. Okay? Although in this instance, we usually express the negative more often. And then you talk about your sun sign. Your sun sign can be in any house, right now. Maybe for you it's in house 7, for me it's in house 3, that kind of thing. It depends on what time you're born. So your sun sign is who you are learning to become. And of course, the sun sign will also have the negative and the positive. So when you're learning to become something, or when you're learning to become someone, it is always the positive. Follow? So your question was, when do we stop becoming the rising sign and be more of the sun sign? Correct? Yeah. So if that was your question, my answer is, it happens anytime you're ready. Blur already. So you're rising Leo. Okay, you're rising Leo. So most of the time you are very generous, you're very kind, but then when you emo that time, you also can be quite bitchy lah. So the idea here is for you to move, to grow as a person into your sun sign, which is Aquarius. So what is Aquarius? Aquarius is humanitarian. So what you're doing, for example, we organize Jive. That is a very Aquarius thing to do. So just continue doing more. Because the Aquarius sign is to serve mankind. Oh, by the way, all the notes that I've been scribbling, I will save it and send it to you guys for dissemination, okay? To whoever was present, so at least there's something to refer to. But basically, yeah, Aquarius is serving mankind. No? Mankind doesn't necessarily mean confined to human species. I just want to be clear on that, because when we talk about spirituality, and if you look at it, Aquarius natural placement is where? House 11, right?
11.
Yeah. House 11 is which quadrant?
4.
4. So when house 11 is in quadrant 4 is what? Being more spiritual, right? So being more spiritual means being more accepting. No difference between you and me. So when I say serve mankind, I use the word very loosely, because it actually also includes animals. Okay? I know a lot of people get very roused up when I say it includes animals, but the reality is that animals also bleed red blood. Right? They also just need food and shelter and a place to sleep, someone to care for them, which is also what we want. And this one, then now from here, from this angle, it goes on into religious studies already, which I don't want to touch on because I think it's very sensitive. And yeah, just understand that from a astrological point of view, quadrant 4 spirituality is about we are all one. We don't care whether you are animal, insect, human, spirit, we are all one. Okay? Any other questions? teach so well.
She got a question.
Who?
Hanshi got a question on health. How to see the health issues for the person happening at what age? Can that be shown?
Okay, that would depend on your transit. Let me pull up a chart. Okay, for example, let's use this chart. Now, what is natal and what is transit? Okay, you see all these planets here inside this circle? Inside the red circle that I'm drawing? Those are known as your natal planets. Fixed one. It doesn't change. It's fixed. It's from the day you are born. Then you see all these planets in green on the outside. All this. These are the transiting planets, meaning they move every year. Okay. When we talk about having a health issue, we are looking at all these planets on the outside when it happens. Now, just like in Party, yeah. In Party, we have the 8 characters, right? There's your Party. And then we have the 10-year luck pillar. Correct or not? This is the what. This is the when. Correct or not? In Western Astro, the inside circle is the what. And then all these planets in outside is the when. Clear?
Yeah.
Timing is about the timing. Now, you look at this chart. What are the health houses? House 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12. Correct? We are also talking about the sun, the moon, and the north node. These things here will tell you what health issues a person has. So you look at this chart. House 1, nothing. Correct or not? No planets in house 1. House 2, nothing. This one here is an asteroid, not a planet. So tapake. No count. House 4, this one is also asteroid. It's not a planet. So also nothing. House 5 got something here. Okay. House 6, nothing. House 8, nothing. House 12, nothing. So this chart, as of now, has only one health issue. This one. Correct? Then you look at the sun. The sun is in Scorpio. So what are the issues that a Scorpio is predisposed to? Blood issues. Then you look at the moon. The moon is in Pisces. What is Pisces related to? Thyroid. Then you look at the placement of this one. Where is it? Oh, guess what? It's in house 2. Guess what? It's in Aquarius. We are not interested in which house it is in. We are interested in the sign it is in. So if it is in Aquarius, sorry. Okay. So if it is in Aquarius, right? 6 houses away is Leo. Because this is North Node, ma. When we talk about health issues, we use the North Node as a reference point. But from there, there's a step 2. Step 2 is to see what sign is 6 houses away. So 6 houses away from Aquarius is Leo. Leo represents what? Heart. And then house 5 is reproductive organ. So if this is a male, we're looking at andropause, early andropause. If this is a female, we are looking at early menopause. You see that? So this chart is actually very unique in the sense that there's not much by way of health issue. Only one concern only, one planet major concern. That's the menopause or andropause. Following? Tento, Jena, if you follow? No follow.
Yes.
Okay. So since this person does not have major health issues, when are all these health issues, even though these are small issues, when is it going to happen? Very easy. We just need to see the transit. This one is in house 6 already. When this planet here moves in this direction, it's an asteroid, by the way. When it enters house 6, because house 6 is a health house, potential issue. Then it stays inside here, no problem. When it exits, health issue. Enters down here, no problem. It's always the entry, exit, entry, exit. Every planet that enters and exits a health house is a trigger point for a health issue to manifest. Interesting? Don't need to worry too much because basically end of the day today is just an introduction. But if you guys are interested, we can always have little sessions where I can show you, break it down part by part for you. Because it's no fun to learn something and then you get overwhelmed with information. I'm quite happy to do it part by part for you so that you can follow, you can understand, and you can have fun like me. When I look at a chart, right, I don't need to interact with the person. I look at the chart, I know what kind of person. So the chart is telling me a story. So I'm literally reading the story of your life. It's quite fun. Of course, sometimes I laugh, it's like, this very long one. But, other times also it's like, I admire this guy. Good lah. So if you are interested, you just let Jaina know, then we can just get going. And in any event, 2 to 3 weeks from today, we're actually launching a smaller introduction to astrology class. This one is something I used to teach a few years back. I call it the basic astrology. So if you're interested, let Jaina know. We're launching in about 3 weeks time. Okay. So for those of you who actually want more information, you want your chart read, you can also let Jaina know. My sessions are available for booking, not expensive. Okay. Just let Jaina know and I'll get back to you. Leave your contact number with her and I'll call you. So if you have any other questions, now is the time to ask. If not, then we can either end the meeting or I can share some more, up to you.
There is one question, Esther, from Charlene on for Capricorn, is ear injury included? Because she has lived beyond 29.
I need to know the extent of your ear injury and what kind of ear injury and how old is she now.
Charlene, you want to unmute and ask further?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
I
can.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
The year injury happened around 14, 15 years old, and it was actually, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, the ear injury happens around 14, 15 years old, and it was a minor surgery, and it's actually sucking out water from the middle ear because there was some water that actually goes in from the throat area into the ear. So it was very uncomfortable there and it created pressure. So doctor opened up the hole and let it
Yes,
heal.
it's included. Because you 开刀嘛. You speak Chinese?
Okay, thank you.
你有开刀吗？有开刀就是算了咯。
有开刀，有开刀。
Surgery. Yeah. So if there's a surgery involving anything to your head, where Capricorn and Aquarius is concerned, it's always the head. Head means from here, your jaw, okay, above. Some people, they get it right down here at the neck vertebrae here. Heng suay lah. Okay, but most of the time, Capricorn and Aquarius, right, the injury is from jawline up to the top of the head. So it can be your eye, it can be your ear, it can be your nose, it can be your mouth, as long as it's on the head area, the skull. But although, to be honest, Jaina, Aquarians tend to get it on the eyebrow area. I have no idea why, but it's just a pattern I've noticed. Okay, some Aquarians get it here in the middle of the head. Yeah, so it's pretty subjective lah. Because you see, when we say Aquarian is like that or Capricorn is like that, we're talking about only one element there. Right? Your chart has so many different houses, so many different planets. They also have a say in what happens in your life. But at this point, you have to understand that it took me a long time to learn everything I learned. There is no way I can transfer all that information and data to you in 1 hour or even 2 hours for that matter. So we talk generics at this point in time. But yes, as long as you have had surgery, involves the letting of blood, and there's a scar, you're good. Okay? Now, I'm a rising Capricorn. So when I was younger, I actually had a very bad fall. There's a scar on the back of my head that is about this big, about my pinky length. Okay? It took about 30 needles, 30, 30, what? yeah, they bring me go and sew needle, and then there was a 30 stitches or something like that. So my mom, I actually fell and knocked into the doorknob. You know, olden days, the doorknob is not like these days one, very soft one. Last time the doorknob is one metal piece, solid metal one. So I fell and knocked my head on it, and it was the back of my head, and I was bleeding profusely. My mom used 7 towels. 7 big size towels, adult size towels. I'm not talking about face towels. I'm talking about bath towels. The blood just kept coming. And then, of course, she rushed me to hospital and blah, blah, blah. And it was only, that happened when I was 5 years old, 7 years old, somewhere there, very young. And it was only in my later years as I dive further, deeper into Western astrology, then I realized that, oh, the accident is actually a saving grace. Because without the accident, I wouldn't be alive today. Yeah. So there are some people who miss the 29-year mark. Okay, the accident happens at age 31, age 32, still okay. Okay, so the thing is that astrology, there's no fix on the dot 100%. This day this is going to happen. There's always a plus minus.
Esther, there's a question on from you Doris. What to do if there's too many planets in Q1 in quadrant 1?
Exercise. Quadrant 1 is about your physical body. The body is what allows you to stay here on planet Earth. Okay. Without your body, you cannot stay here. It doesn't matter how wonderful a person you are. If your body is in a cracked state, then you die. When you die, you're gone. You're not here anymore. You cannot stay here anymore. So when you have a focus of planets all on quadrant 1, it is basically telling you, take care of your body. Yeah. So take care of your body can come across in many ways. Number 1 is mental health, body, mind, and soul. Mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. Spiritual health means well-being. So this person with all the gathering in quadrant 1 is likely to be very easily irritated. Manjang. Learn to let go. Okay, don't take everything to heart. People's mouth, people can say whatever they want. People's life, they can do whatever they want. It is not your problem. Understand? So if someone irritates you, it is not that someone irritated you. It is that you allowed yourself to get irritated by that someone. Just let it go. It's got nothing to do with you. The other person is having a bad day. The end. Let it go. 做大人啊，做人要大一点. I think that's how the Chinese say, right? Because my Chinese is a bit sucky, so sometimes I say things wrongly. But I think you get the idea lah, huh? 我们做人不要做小人啊，做大人。So the thing is that it will always consistently happen through your life. If you live to be 100 years old, you will continue to have this problem until you're 100 years old. So the success comes when you are able to, someone tries to irritate you, and then instead of getting irritated, you are laughing at it. And that's when you know you've already mastered the art of letting go. Okay? Yeah. Any other question? Is everyone here married? Who is not married? Please give me a thumbs up. I'm so sad I'm not married. Give thumbs up. Okay, come. Who's not married? Thumbs up. Only 2. The rest all married. Okay. So the rest all, I think you should tune in next week. My next session, right? Because my next session is focused on relationship, and it will show you how to give your partner what they want. Look, we get married for very simple reason, okay? Companionship, money, and well, maybe a little bit of sex now and then. Correct? Don't bluff. Okay, this is the real facts of life. Okay, so sometimes we tend to ignore or tend to not see the emotional needs that our partner needs. So next session, I will show you how to identify what your partner wants so that you can provide for it. It's nothing, it's more emotional than sexual, okay? So don't get too excited. It's all about emotional needs so that, you know, at least when you're confined in the same home, you know, instead of killing each other, you can use the chance to make things better, to make your relationship better. Okay, so between now and the next session, I think it's on the 10th, it's good if you can quickly get the notes from Gina. I will send her the notes that I was scribbling just now, so at least she can send it to you guys. And then if you have questions, you are free to PM me. But I don't think they can get PM me here, right?
They will need to go to your Facebook.
Okay. So you can either go to my Facebook or you can catch me on Telegram. Telegram Esther Teh lah. So I think Telegram ID is by name only, right? Don't need number, right? Okay, never mind. Just in case you need my number, it is 96210363. Okay, you add a 65 in front because it's a Singapore number. 96210363. You are welcome to message me anytime, be it Telegram or WhatsApp, but I will only respond when I can because my hours are quite long. Sometimes I only see messages middle of the night. So I will respond when I can, but I sure respond one. If I don't respond to you within 2 days, means I never saw your message. That means it never came in. Okay, then you can please feel free to message me again. Yeah.
For your astrology and live Facebook page, right? Can they message you there as well? Messenger, do you check that?
You probably can message me, but I'm probably not going to answer on that platform because I'm not very good with IT. So sometimes when messages come in, I also don't know. So it's always best to contact me on the phone, WhatsApp, Telegram, or what? Unless you find me on my personal page on Facebook, which I don't think is appropriate. So you contact me through WhatsApp or Telegram. You don't have to worry about us spamming you because I'm not in the habit of spamming people with things they're not interested in. You understand? So if you contact me and you say you're interested in ABC, I'm more than happy to share, okay, about our courses or give you insights, whatever. But if you're not interested in a subject, we're not pushy because 做这行的 we believe in 缘分. You want, you come. You don't want, it's okay. All right. So don't let it hold you back. You have a question, just message me. That's it. I think some of them in this chat room, they actually been with me quite long. So some of them have followed me for a few years. So yeah, they know our pattern. We don't push. You want, you come, we can help you. You don't want, also okay. All right. Any other question? I don't know why I can't see the chat. So I'm relying on Jana to fill me in on.
It's okay. I can be the speaker.
So any other questions? No. Let's talk about sex, baby. Oh, immediately Jana's face light up with tahan.
Huh? No such thing.
Okay, astrology can be a very fun subject, okay? Just to let you know, we can talk about things like sex, children. Now, what kind of children you're going to have? Whether your children are naughty or whether they listen or how to get the best out of your children is all in your chart. We don't even look at your child's chart. We look at your chart because it's you, your personality that's going to bring this reaction out of your child. Understand? So by the same token, it is you, your personality that's going to bring out this person or this personality from your spouse. It is all about you. It's always about your child. I think there's one thing my father taught me. People are never wrong. You are always wrong. Then your life will change. Does that make sense? Credit I give you, fault I take. Does that make sense? My late husband, he passed away a couple of years back. I'm a strong character. I'm very set in my ways. I want a third dog means I want a third dog. I don't care how we manage in terms of time and all that, but if I want it, I want it. And he is someone who knows that if he opposes me, then I will want it even more, you see. So sometimes, of course, when you live together, you will have minor spats, all right? And his one favorite word was he would just come up to me and he would just say, okay, Lord, sorry, Lord, there's always room for one more, you know. His favorite word was sorry. And when I asked him why, he said, 講 sorry 一句都冇大事咯. Which is true, right? The moment you say sorry, the other person forgive you. Even though you don't think you've done wrong, but the other person suddenly very happy with you. Okay, what? So If there's a fault, it's my fault. If there's credit to be given, it's your credit to take. If you adopt that approach in life, all your relationships will improve. That one, you don't need astrology to tell you. You don't need party to tell you. Okay? Any other questions? I can go on and on, if you don't kick me out. I've been known to go on for 3 full days talking about astrology, okay, without getting bored. The question is whether you guys will get bored. So difficult to practice? No lah, it's very easy one. The thing is that because today is an introduction, so it's like a lot of things trying to cram into this short time that we have. But if you're studying it in a very structured fashion, right, then you will find that it's actually super easy. Okay, so the thing is that when you try to have too much expectations of yourself in one go, then you get very stressed out. When you get very stressed out, you can't read. That's why for me, most of the time, okay, technically I can read 15 charts in one day. Okay, when I was younger, I would just read 20 charts even, no problem. And as I get older, I find that I must be relaxed first, then I can read. And when I'm relaxed, I tell people, okay, the session takes 1 hour. But in reality, it can drag 3 hours, 4 hours, because the more relaxed I am, the more data comes out. The more data comes out, the more fun for the other party. And essentially, yes, I'm in business to make money, but at the same time, my main goal is to make sure the other party is fulfilled in terms of getting information, and that the other party is fulfilled in terms of getting their curiosity satisfied. They understand. They're not just listening like a dum-dum, you know what I mean? Oh, I tell you to go and shower 10 times a day to increase your luck. I mean, that's stupid. Sorry, but that's really stupid. Okay? So when I tell you to do something, it's based on common sense. And I will explain to you why I say this, and that. So people have that sense of fulfillment. It is a session that is very satisfying. And that is what I aim for all these years. That is why all of our clients, they come back every year. Because there is satisfaction. You're not just a number. I actually care what happens to you. The advice I give you is something I've tried before. I've done before, and it helps. Okay? So I hope that everything that I've shared to you in the last, what time is it? In the last 2 hours? 2 hours. Everything that I've shared to you in the 2 hours, you have enjoyed. I know it's a bit mind-boggling, but don't be too hasty to try and digest everything in one night, because it is a lot. It is just a teaser to you to show you astrology can do a lot of things. You want to do more, come for our next session. Okay, then you see next session we're zooming in on relationship. So you come in on the next session, you see whether it is really as fun as I always said. Then from there you can decide whether you actually want to sign up for the basic course or not, for the introduction course or not, whichever. Just come, enjoy. Can? So you let Jana know, because I think next week, depending on the number of people and how much time I'm given, I think today actually Jana only told me 40 minutes only, but we have overflowed by so much. So I'm just happy that everyone is still here, still wanting to ask more questions. So the thing is, the next session, right? If you guys can, right, I can stay for longer hours. I'm always happy to answer every question. And when someone asks a question, we can actually all learn at the same time. You understand? Because if you ask me a question one-on-one, I answer you, only you learn. If everybody asks in public, everybody can follow, everybody learns something. That's more fun, right? For me, that's more fun. Okay. And actually, I have a request, Gina.
Yes.
I actually prefer not muting everybody.
Not what?
Not muting them. You know why? Because when people talk, I can sense their which angle they are interested in, and then I can suck off that energy and feed them back the same energy. I think the last 2 hours, although it was quite fun sharing, it was a bit boring also. All I hear is my voice. Listen. Can. So the next round can we, because next round especially is about relationships.
Can.
Yeah, so if we can give everyone
on our mic.
Yes. If they can all turn on their mics and talk at the next session, right? Best. Because it gets really fun then.
Okay, let's do that for the next session. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be chaotic and noisy, but at the same time, it's going to be very fun and you will get to enjoy lah. Like just like all of us are in the same room.
Yeah, it won't be that chaotic. Of course, initially everybody is excited, but I think after a while they will automatically know when to just, you know, quiet and when they can ask questions. It's automatic one. I wonder, because it's the same as doing a live class. Okay, we just got this little gadget that allows me to share all the charts and things with you. It's been a very stressful few days for me trying to learn how to use this equipment, but it's been good. The thing is that, how you say this? To me, it is a lot like a live class. You know, where I can see people's reactions, I can hear what they're saying. Because when I hear somebody say something, pop, I go chasing after that train of thought, and then we all learn something new. Can I?
Can.
Great. Is everybody here still here or still sleeping?
Still here.
Still
Want to learn one more thing?
here.
Still want to stay? If you still want to stay, I'm still happy to teach you something.
Okay, no problem. Can go ahead.
Still here, still here.
Still
Okay.
here.
Still here,
Continue.
still here.
I'm going to teach you how to see in your chart what is the shit that you have to take care of this year, okay? This one, for those of you who are here who have booked the transit reading with me before, it's not a free service. They actually pay for it. My clients pay me close to $700 Sing for this. But I'm going to teach you how to do a very simple version so that at least you have something to support yourself this year, because I think COVID is hitting all of us very hard. So let's try and help each other out. Since we are here and everybody is still interested and not fallen asleep yet. What time is it, by the way?
10:30.
Oh, 10:30 only. Sorry.
Yeah, lor.
But last time when let me just try and share a file, okay? Last time when I do my workshops, people actually, my class can be ending at 6 o'clock, but people will stay until 10, 11 p.m. Some of them will stay until 1 a.m. Interesting, right? Fun, right? I don't mind one. Okay. I'm going to teach you guys something. Okay, I need to annotate first. There you go. Okay. There are a few things that you need to look out for when you are trying to see whether how the year is going to be for you. First, you look to see where this planet is. Yeah, I don't like this color. I say it's fun. I use red, okay, easier for you all to see. Look for this. Look for this planet. Now, in this sample chart, that would be this one. So look in your chart. Where is it? This planet is Saturn. Saturn, not Satan. See? Saturn. Turn the door, turn the chair. Saturn, not Satan. Okay? You look for that planet. And then you look for this planet. It looks like a number 4. It's called Jupiter. Okay? And then you look for this one, the North Node. This is a very simple way of looking at your transit. I think the Chinese call it Liu Nian Yun. Got it? Everyone has identified it? Then let me tell you what these planets are about. Saturn is about the shit, where all the trouble is going to come from. Cannot run one. Because Saturn is karma. Okay? Cannot run. Everybody has karma. Even the monk has a karma. As long as you are born, as long as you live, breathe, eat, shit, sleep, you have karma. Doesn't matter whether you're human, dog, insect, you have karma. Okay? Jupiter is about luck. Not just luck, but big luck. 大运. And then North Node is what you resist. But it is also what you must do. Okay? Clear?
Yeah.
Now, using this example, this chart, let's see where Saturn is. Saturn is here in the red circle. That's my natal Saturn. I'm going to erase that. I highlight for you the transiting Saturn first. There you go. It's here. Do you see it? In the chart, you see the red circle I put, right? Okay. Now, we also need to highlight the Jupiter, also in transit. I'm only looking at the outside circle. Jupiter is here. So these two planets are here in my house 1. All right. Then you look for North Node. Here is in house 6. That's how you identify. Okay. So now I'm just going to orally give you, verbally give you what it means. Saturn is where the shit is going to come from. So if Saturn is in house 1 in this chart, which it is this circle here. Okay. It's in house 1 of this chart. It basically means house 1 personality, right? House 1 is, this is whose chart? The owner, right? So the owner's personality is where the shit is going to come from. So in other words, the owner is being an asshole. Understand? Jupiter is where the big luck is also coming from. So that means this person is the asshole, but if the person will be nice, the person also can a lot of things to benefit. So if you own this chart, what should you be doing?
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an asshole. Just play nice. Play nice and everybody wins. Okay? Now, you look at the North Node is here. Must do. Must do what? Routine. Have your routine. Just because you're on COVID lockdown doesn't mean that you sleep until 1 p.m. then wake up. No? Okay? So now I'm going to give you the meaning of each house. Okay? House 1 is personality. It's called taking action. So if you have Saturn in there, it means you are not taking action. If you have Jupiter in there, it means if you take action, you will have good result. If you have North Node in there, it means you must take action. House 2. House 2 is about money. Money you work and you get. You put in X hours, you get this money. If you don't work, you don't get money. In Chinese party, it is direct wealth. Okay? So house 2, if you have Saturn in there, it means that, okay, you're going to have cash flow issues. So what do? Spend less. If let's say you have Jupiter inside there, big luck in direct wealth. Okay or not? Good one. Right? That means if you are busy doing work, sales, taking on part-time jobs, sure got money one. It's whether you want to take or don't take money. If you have North Node inside there, now you see this chart, it has North Node inside here, but this is natal, okay? So we're not interested in the natal. We're interested in the transit. Transit is what we call the Liu Nian, the passing year. So if you have North Node here on the outside, it means go and work. Don't be lazy. Don't give excuses. Just go and work. Okay? House 3. House 3 is about sales or communication. 用口赚来的. So if let's say you have Saturn in house 3 in transit, shit is coming from your mouth. That means you are talking rubbish. You are offending a lot of people. 讲话会得罪人. 一开口就得罪人。So if you have this placement, you need to watch your words. You need to watch how you say it and what you say. It is most of the time never what you say. It is always how you say it. You know, you can scold someone and still be very nice about it. Right? We all know that, right? I mean, we are 吃得这么老了, we should know. So if you have Saturn in house 3, you kind of need to apply a bit more honey in your speech. There are 40 ways to skin a cat. If you have Jupiter going in house 3, go and do sales. Jupiter is big luck, ma. Going through the house of sales, go and do sales. Got money, man. If you have North Node going through house 3, do sales. But you know that this person will not do. Because the North Node is what you resist, but it is also what you must do. So this person will naturally resist doing sales, but must go and do. Okay? Or 用口赚来的东西 also means teaching. So if you've always been encouraged to teach, but you don't want to teach, then well, now is the time. So let's say you have Saturn going through house 4 in transit. Shit is going to come out from the family. That means added responsibilities. Added responsibilities can mean anything. Now, if we're looking at a specific chart, we can analyze what that shit is going to be. But right now, we're talking generics, right? So when Saturn goes through house 4, it means added responsibility, which could mean somebody falls sick, which is not good news because now it's COVID. So that means somebody in the family kena already. Okay. It can also mean maybe your grandparent moves in with you, so you have added responsibility. It's family related one because house 4 is family, it's home. Okay. If you have Jupiter going through house 4, it means you 搬家, you move house. It's a bigger house because it's big luck. It can also mean someone in the family is pregnant. Okay, so you have additional family member because house 4 is family. If you have North Node going through house 4, it means you're not paying attention to family. You must pay attention to family. Got it? House 5. If you have Saturn going through house 5 is your children. So if you have Saturn going through house 5, you can expect some shit to come out from your children. Either they're not listening, or you know they are purposely being a brat, or they don't want to do homework, or they are tearing up your work because you're working from home now because of COVID, whatever. Basically, it's just shit coming from them. Okay? But whose fault? Your fault, because your chart, not their chart. It's your fault. Remember, there's no such thing in reality about fault. It's not about I'm wrong and you're right. It's about what works and what doesn't work. But for the sake of learning here, I use the word fault. Okay? Because if you take responsibility for what's not working, you can fix it. If you own the problem, you own the solution. But if you don't want to admit that it's your fault, then you can never correct the problem. Okay? Because if you don't admit it's your fault, you are not taking responsibility. So if it's not my responsibility, why is it my problem to solve? That is the problem. Okay? So we use fault here in this context as a means of learning, that's all. So if you have Jupiter going through house 5, then fun lah. It's good times, right? Because big luck. And then house 5 is about children. So maybe you get pregnant, or someone in the family gets pregnant if you have adult kids staying with you. Or it could mean you're having more sex because house 5 is about sex. House 5 is also about romance. So if you're married, then hopefully you're getting some action from the spouse. And if you from the spouse, if you are not married, then if you're getting some action, then well, take precautions because I don't think this is the perfect time for getting pregnant. Okay? If you have North Node going through house 5, then it means that you are not relaxed. You are very tense. Okay, the North Node is what you must do, but you will resist. House 5 is about fun. So you must go and learn to have fun. I know house 5 is about sex, but it doesn't mean that you must go and have sex, okay? It just means go and have fun, creativity. House 5 is all the fun things. House 5 is also the indirect wealth. House 5 is also the output factor if you are learning party. Okay? So when you have North Node going through house 5, go and do something fun. Interact with your children or pick up a hobby, that kind of thing. House 6. If you have Saturn going through house 6, it means you are not disciplined. You are not working. you are a procrastinator. You keep saying that I'll do this, I'll start on this project tomorrow, but it never happens. So if you have Jupiter in house 6, then it means that, yeah, what you need will come. You don't need to worry so much. The luck will come. People will come to help you. Your problem will be solved. Okay? So let's say now in times of COVID, you can't get veggie or you can't get some food supplies. You don't need to worry. You just need to go and open your mouth to your neighbor and just comment that, you know, oh, 买不到菜. And next thing you know, people will start sending you some veggie. Okay? North node in house 6, like this chart, for example, you see the circle, it has north node in house 6. So what it means, this circle here. So what it means is that this person must therefore develop a routine. If you normally go to work at, say, 7:30, you drive to work, but then now COVID, everybody stay at home. This person wake up at 9:30, then get dressed, then start work. Cannot. You must still keep your routine. Okay? House 7. House 7, if you have Saturn in house 7 in transit, it means you can expect some shit from the spouse. Whose fault? Your fault. Because whose chart? Your chart. Okay? So spouse not happy. So just make your spouse happy now. If you have Jupiter going through house 7, it basically means that if you're single, you have a chance to date. Okay? If you're married, then you also have a chance to date. So then comes the question of what do you want with your marriage? Okay? If you have North Node in house 7, it means that you are going to have no chance to date, no chance to make friends. So it can be a bit lonesome. So your North Node is also your must do. So you must go out and make new friends. But of course, in COVID, we can't go out, we can't socialize. So there's always social platforms like Zoom, WhatsApp chat, or whatever. So try and put yourself out there. Okay. House 7 is open enemy, enemies that you can see. 小人啊. But the 小人你知道是谁的啦. And because it's your chart, it's you lah. So that means your own behavior is self-sabotaging you. So you just need to correct the behavior. House 8 is about your spouse also. It is also about your mind, your mindset, how you think. So if you have Saturn there, you basically come at life from a platform of lack. You know, people ask you to buy masks, you say, I don't want, I don't have money. People ask you to pay some money and learn a course, don't want, I got no money. Saturn. Basically, literally it's called a mind fuck. Okay, you are slapping your own face. You're closing doors, and this action doesn't benefit you. So you do the opposite. If you have Jupiter going in house 8, it means that your mind is opening up this year to learn new things. And that is good. So just go ahead, okay? And house 8 is also about other people's money, right? So house 8 being other people's money, how do you make other people's money come into your pocket? Do sales. Okay? If you have North Node going through house 8, you are very close-minded now. You're not doing what you should be doing because North Node is what you resist. Now. So if a person has Saturn in house 8 and then also got North Node in house 8, well, this one is long pia chart. This one is you don't want to do, yet the shit keeps coming and you're not cleaning the shit. You know, you literally when you go and sit on the pot and you shit, you still got to flush, right? But a person with Saturn in house 8 and North Node in house 8, shit already don't want to flush. And then they expect the toilet to smell nice. It doesn't work that way, you know. You have to actually shuffle the shit out of your way, you know? So if you have Saturn and North Node in there, in one house, always follow the North Node. Saturn is just part of life. The shit will keep coming from the angle. But if you follow the North Node is your solution. Okay? House 9. If you have Saturn in house 9, your belief system goes through a challenge. You must widen your belief system. For example, let's say that you have a belief that, you know, if someone coughs in your face, that's it, you're going to die of cancer. When Saturn is in house 9, that is what you will believe. But when Jupiter goes through house 9, it widens your brains. That means it opens the door to your brain so that you can learn new things. And when North Node goes through there, it means you must learn new things. So again, if you have both Saturn and North Node inside there, follow the North Node. Always follow the North Node. Okay? House 10. House 10 is career. House 10 is your social status, your social standing. So if you have Saturn in there, then it means that very suddenly you find the whole world is against you. But whose chart? Your chart. Whose fault? Your fault. So Jupiter goes in there, it means suddenly the whole world likes you. They all love you. You know, everywhere you go, people like you so much. They always want to help you, want to give you something. That's Jupiter in 10. If you have North Node going through house 10, it basically means that you need to socialize. You need to put yourself out there. So basically, you're being a hermit, okay? Because it is what you resist. And house 10 is socializing. So you resist socializing. So it basically means you're being a hermit. You shouldn't be doing that. House 11. If you have Saturn in house 11, suddenly your friends all don't like you. Why? Whose chart? Your chart. Whose fault? Your fault. So what can you do? Make nice. Okay? When you have Jupiter going through house 11, suddenly the whole world wants to bless you with gifts. Take it. It's your karma, so to speak. Okay? If you have North Node going through house 11, it means that you are spending too much money. Stop spending. When we say stop spending, we don't mean spending, there's a right way to spend money and there's a wrong way to spend money, okay? The right way to spend money is on spending money on real food. You know, people like to eat McDonald's, Kentucky, Pizza Hut. All this is not real food. This is junk food. It's not even food in my perspective because it has a lot of chemicals. It is processed food. You're basically giving yourself cancer, okay? I mean, that's really odd coming from someone who smokes, but that is the reality, okay? Now, real spending, good spending is when you spend on education, when you spend on health, when you spend on personal growth. That is valid spending. Bad spending is when you already have 100 shirts in your cupboard and then you still go out and buy 10 more shirts because you're bored or because you got too much money and you don't know what to do about it. That is bad spending. Okay, so when you have North Node going through house 11, chances are you are doing bad spending. So you need to stop that habit. House 12. When you have Saturn going through house 12, you are closed to things like metaphysics. You don't want to learn, you don't want to listen, you don't want to explore. You are not open at all. When you have Jupiter in house 12 in transit, everything you need will come to you in time. It's luck that's beyond your control. House 12 is all the things beyond your control, the good things and the bad things. So when Saturn goes through there, of course, it's shit, you know, you can't control, man. Saturn is shit, right? And house 12 is beyond your control, right? So shit beyond your control. So maybe things like you getting fired. Okay? If Jupiter is in house 12, it's good stuff, right? But it's beyond your control, right? So you don't need to worry. You just need to understand whatever you need will come. Okay? You just need to wait, be patient. If you have North Node in house 12, you will definitely resist exploring all these things. But it is what you must do. Understand? It is about accepting that we are all one because house 12 is spirituality. Okay, so I've gone through with you Saturn, Jupiter, and North Node in the 12 houses. Only in the basic astrology, then we will share what each house is actually representing because there's a whole long list. There is actually one whole A4 page per house. So now I want to show you, I'm just going to go back to the front page. I want to show you something about your Western Astro chart. This one also 很少人教的, but I want to teach you because I think it's quite fun. Should you be an employer or an employee? And then the next question also is, should you migrate or should you stay in your area of birth? So we do the first one, okay? Your chart is circle, correct? You see these 4 lines, right? Okay. First of all, I want you to sorry. Okay. So first of all, what I want you to do is to look at your chart and see what is here. Do you have a majority of the planets here on the left side? Or do you have a majority of it on the right side? If it's the left side, do business. If it's on the right side, be an employee. very simple and straightforward. Now, I have a question for you. What if your life, you are meant to be an employee because everything is on the right side, or a majority of the planets are on the right side, but then you want to do business? Can you do? Can. But your learning curve is steeper, and then you'll be prepared to pay some tuition money, in other words, lose some money, because your brain is not inclined, not genetically designed for business. So you, from here, you want to move to this side, you can, but you will probably lose some money first. Okay. Now, if you are meant for business, but then you are the type that's quite content to just be an employee, can or not? Also can. It's your choice, your life. Okay. Some people, they just basically they don't enjoy the challenge of getting a business up and running. They just want something that is risk-free, steady, the iron bowl kind of meal. Then just be an employee. It's your choice. Okay. Now, next, your chart, circle, I want you to divide it this way. If you find a majority of the planets on top, please migrate. Your life is better for you overseas. If you find that a majority of your planets are here, don't migrate. Got it? Very simple, very straightforward. I don't want to complicate matters by explaining point system. I think it just...
Essential oil that you like.
Yeah. So you follow this one and you will find that you can make some decisions in life. But of course, if your life is supposed to migrate, then you want to double confirm it by looking at your party. So if your party has the sky horse star, go. If your party has the travel stars, which is the Zi Ying, Wu, and 1, 3, 6, monkey, I think 1, 3, 1, 3, 7. I think it's big. I need to confirm that. But if you have the travel stars and you have the sky horse in your party, then you should migrate. Okay? Oh, it's not this one. No, the travel. Yeah, okay. I'm getting myself confused. Sorry, because I'm on Taiwan. The travel stars are tree, tiger, snake, monkey, and pig. So if you have any of these stars in your party, especially if it is in your month branch, you should go. Hello? Any question? So how, if let's say your chart says you should migrate, but then your spouse chart says stay? Wrong wife, wrong husband, how? Compromise law, already married already, then we expect. I mean, if you learn all these things beforehand, then yeah, you would probably make different choices. But then if you are already married to someone and then your party going on, then it's like, bopian lo, sakpam lo, manage lo. Correct or not? Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is this, okay? You must remember that your chart is just a guide in your life. Okay? It does not dictate your life. Don't get to the point in life where you are so frightened to make a decision without first looking at your chart. If you're doing that, then I think you're quite screwed. Seriously. Now, I'm doing this for a living for almost 3 decades. Most of my decisions are made based on feeling first. How do I feel about this thing? Do I want to do this or not? If I say I want, I will go and look at my chart. Is there any supporting formations there that says I can achieve this easily? If yes, I go for it. If it says no, then I start to assess why no. Not timing, or my methodology is wrong? What? Can I adjust it? If I can adjust it, I still go for it. But if I find that it's stacked against my favor, then I will probably not do it. It must be a balance between your gut feel and your chart. You cannot just say, my chart say cannot do, so I don't do. I think that's playing victim. Okay, so don't do that. Anything else? Sorry, I should stop share, right? Yeah. Anything else that you guys want to learn?
Good.
Good, okay. Shall we have a quiz? Can everybody off your mute? Put yourself on speaker. We're going to have a quiz. Am I? And the person who answers the most questions correctly will get 15 minutes of my time about your chart personally. Am I? Freebies, yeah, can.
What I?
Freebies. Okay. Whoever I or better or whoever I the freebie better unmute yourself, and then I will ask questions verbally and I expect a vocal answer. I want to hear answer one because I cannot see chat group. So the first voice that I hear is the one who gets the time, okay? I will ask 10 quiz questions. The one who wins the most, who gets the most correct answers, then will get the time with me. Okay? Now, how many quadrants are there?
4.
4.
How do you know who say first?
4.
I don't know who said first, so how?
That's why the voice. Say your name first and then only answer.
Yeah, lor, I think that's a good idea, right? Who gave that suggestion? So it's like pressing the buzzer. Okay, the person who says the name first, followed by the answer. So it's not like you say your name and then you stop, okay? You say your name and immediately give the answer. So at least I know who it is. Okay? Okay, next question. Ready? What is the sign age of an Aries?
Charlene, 0 to 7.
Huh? Was that Hanshi?
Charlene.
Oh, Charlene. Okay, so Charlene got the answer right. Can someone record this down?
Say name first and say answer, man. Not say answer first and say name, right?
That's why I was too kanchong until I simply put out.
You make me kanchong. You see my cigarette I light on the wrong end. Okay, next question. So Charlene got one answer correct. I'm only going to ask 10 questions, okay? So that was the first question. Second question, tell me one thing that is so special about Aquarius.
Jana.
Yes, Jana.
The older we get, the younger we get.
Okay. So 1 point for Jana, 1 point for Charlene.
Yay, Kiasu get win ready.
Okay, third question. What are the health houses?
Healing. H1, H2, H1, H2, H4, H6, H5, H8, H12.
Very good. What else? You're missing one. Okay, that answers my question actually. Yes, it does. Because my question was which houses are the health houses? So that was healing or Kathy?
Healing.
Healing, okay. So healing 1, Jana 1, Charlene 1. Okay, next question. If you have a majority of the planets in quadrant 3, what should you be doing?
Healing, logical.
I heard healing.
To be more logical.
Okay, so healing 2, right?
Yes.
So that's question 4. Question 5. I have said many things about what house 6 represents. Name me one health thing that it represents.
Healing, dietary. Sensitive stomach.
Oh, dietary. I thought I heard you say dietary. Okay, so healing 3. Healing 3, Charlene 1, Jana 1. So that's 5 questions. So now question 6. What is the North Node about?
Charlene, the resistance.
I heard Charlene.
The resistance, yes.
The resistance. Sounds so, what do you call it?
Katie.
Yeah. So Charlene is 2. Okay. Next question. That's question 6 already, right? So question 7. Let's see. Let's make it interesting. Okay. Question 7. What is the sign age of Scorpio and what does it mean? No answer.
Can I answer half, Charlene? Scorpio is 49 to 56, but I forgot what is the meaning.
Raymond,
Okay.
Scorpio, blame everyone first.
Yeah, Scorpio blames everyone first, but that's a symbol. So what Charlene said is 49 to 56 years old, but what does the 49 to 56 years old interpret into?
Middle finger.
Perpetually premenstrual. Women in that age group, what do? 49 to 56, because Scorpio is a female sign.
Menopausal.
Right?
Menopause.
Yeah, menopausal. So when they're menopausal, they have terrible temper, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's the answer. So Charlene got a half point. Interesting, right? Okay, so how many questions is there already? 7 or 8?
3.
I think that was question 7, is it?
7 question.
So question 8. What's my favorite food? No, okay, that's a joke. Okay, so name me the signs, the male signs that are romantic by nature.
Wheeling, Sagittarius.
Wheeling said Sagittarius, so Wheeling got 1. That's question 8, right? So question 9. Who is Empress Dowager?
Charlene, the Capricorn.
Yes.
Actually, I am Capricorn.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
And how many points does Charlene have already, being a Capricorn?
I don't know.
3.5.
3.5. The highest scorer?
Yes.
Expected. But home, my dear Capricorn. In reality, as a Capricorn, you should have scored more points. Because you know why? Capricorn females are anal. Yeah, everything is important. So everything you would have been taking down notes. So your score is the highest. That is great, but it could be higher.
Yeah, because I was multitasking lah. I would listen half of the class only, then I make notes half of the class.
Okay, last question, okay. After this last question, there's one more bonus question, okay? So this last question is this. What is an astrology chart for?
Healing for guide.
Expand on that lah, alamak. Expand on that. Explain to me.
Charlene want to try. The chart gives you guide, but it doesn't gives you a definite answer. You sort of like need to rely on a chart to see whether the direction is correct. However, the direction is not the final answer that you will get. somewhat like that.
Yes, something like that. It's a good first try. Basically, a chart is just a guide. It is not written in cement. That means it is not 100% confirmed chop stamp kind of thing. But it should not be used to make your decision. Okay, so half point for that. It was a good try. So basically, Charlene won the prize. She got 4.5 points.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can take my number. You took my number down just now, right? So you
I'm
can
your
drop me a
client,
note.
by the way.
Oh, that Charlene.
Yes, that's
I
Charlene.
say, man, Charlene, shame on you. Oi, follow me so
Oi.
long, and then your answer only 4.5 questions.
I
Say
never
lah.
understand the natal chart, by the way, until today.
Okay. Okay. So you got my number. You
Yeah. I'll
hook up
text you
with me.
later.
So the last bonus question here. Bonus question got no points on, okay? But it's just to see who's been paying attention. What other sciences do I practice, and how long have I been doing it?
3 decades already, lor.
3 decades. 3 decades.
Sorry?
Raymond, 3 decades.
3 decades, yes. But what have I been doing?
Astrology chart reading.
Uh-huh.
And you do a 八字.
Uh-huh. What else?
Feng Shui.
Uh-huh. Okay, basically I do Western Astro, I do Pazi, I do Feng Shui, I do numerology, I'm learning Qigmen, I do face reading, mole reading, palm reading, tarot cards. Okay, it seems like a very big subject, but yeah, it's because I'm doing it full time. So my interest is in this. I actually started in this as a hobby, to be honest with you guys. Okay, I don't keep it a secret because it is a hobby. It was a hobby turned into a full-time income. And I basically started in this because I got retrenched. I started in my younger years. My dad would tell me things like, oh, you know, you're Scorpio, your brother Taurus, so you're always fighting, this and that. But then I'm so young, I didn't give a shit, right? So when my dad passed on when I was 11 or 12 years old, I was quite young. And then, of course, there was the end of lessons, and there was his books, you know. So I basically just put everything on a shelf and I never touched it. And then in my late teens, early 20s, I started to read a little bit. And then I got interested, but I wasn't that interested. You know? And when I got retrenched in my 20s, that was when things were really bad. I couldn't get a job for 2 years. And then a friend said, look, why don't you start out in this? Because you've been reading for people anyway, right? So continue reading, but this time, charge them. So I didn't want to do it because I didn't feel confident enough. Yeah, I know, right? But that's exactly where I stood. I wasn't confident. But as life would have it, I was left with my last 10 cents, literally. And back then, there was no such thing as, handphone have, you know, but it wasn't such a popular gadget back then. Now everybody has one. But in those times, it was still a 10-cent coin phone. So I took my last 10 cents. I went and called up this guy and I said, hey, look, this is it really. This is my last 10 cents. So will you pay me to do a reading for you? And he did. So from there, it just took off because after the reading, he arranged for me to do classes. So my first class where I was teaching astrology happened in 3 weeks from that date. And there were 100 over people in it, and they were all seniors. Seniors in the sense, back then I was early 20s, right? And seniors as in they were all 50s and 60s. And it was quite scary for me because I wasn't sure that I would be able to see it through. What if I say the wrong thing, teach the wrong thing, then how, right? But I survived the week. It was just one day, actually. It was a Saturday workshop. Full day, 9 to 5. And from there, I enjoyed it so much. I have gone on to continue doing it. And I actually did workshops every week because there was a time when I had a Soho in Orchard. And every day, because the location was so convenient, people were coming down to my place every day. And sometimes they would even spend the night at my place. And then we'll do nothing but talk astrology. And because I had a training room in that place, and we continue like that. And then from there, it was a case of every weekend we were learning something new. And then after that, shortly after that, I got married. I remarried to Stan. I'm twice married. Okay. My first husband is, I divorced him. Second husband, 17 years later, was Stan. Okay. And when I married Stan, shortly after that, he had a transplant. So when he had a transplant, we stopped teaching. So now with COVID in the picture, where we cannot meet, we cannot be so free with meeting up with people and gathering in groups, so we have gone on to Zoom as a platform.
Go to
So I think that's
the park
great.
and walk lah. Make sure park 没有什么人啦. Stay away from people.
Who is that?
不然就在楼下你自己去跟他做咯。拿一粒球去丢也是爽的。You serious? It's very simple things. 你丢给我，我丢给你，你丢给我，丢给你。Make sure 你喝水 and 我带水瓶 and 带 hanky. You'll be sweaty, he'll be sweaty.
I hear sweating.
Sorry, was talking to my
Charlene?
husband. Yes, I didn't know that I was on mute.
So we all heard you sweating now. Okay.
It's about kids sweating. Running around, kids sweating.
Okay, so basically from COVID, right, we have moved to Zoom. And so that's why we are able to do more sharings on Zoom. I think it's fun. I have fun. I don't know whether you have fun. Wow. Okay.
The thumbs up from Hanshi. Oh, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Must tell people to thumbs up on Sieno. Okay, all of you owe me durians. Okay. Okay, for the newbies, right? I have one weakness. I like durians. So every time they want something from me, or every time I give something, they always buy me durians. Very cute, right? Yeah. But now COVID, so cannot go out, and then no durian season also. So the brain not working. So anyway, Charlene, hook up with me for a session. I'll explain your chart to you using your own chart. Basically, a session, usually a full session will take about 2 hours, depending on what's in your chart and how complicated it is, and also depending on your Q&A. Some people take 1 hour, some people take 2.5 hours. It really depends on your chart. The more complicated your brain, the longer it takes. Okay, so when we have our session, I hope no interruptions. We just carry through straight and then finish it once and for all. I will record the session, so at least you have something to refer back to. So during our session, you don't need to write your notes and stuff. I will just record the whole process for you. And for those of you who didn't win the prize but would like an introduction, you have 2 choices. One is to join us for the following classes, and 2 is to just book a session with me. A session would be about $200. You get the recording, you have the session, and then after that you take 1 week or 2 weeks to listen to the recording again, and then you have another session with me to clarify anything that you need clarification on. Okay, so that just about sums up the night. I think it's late, but for me it's quite early because my day starts at night. So if you guys want to stay, we can talk some more. If not, I think this is the end. Make your call.
Thank you so much, Esther, for your time.
You're welcome. I enjoyed. So all coming for the 10th,
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to do the Vava Vroom. Yeah. The Vava Vroom, Yeah. Actually, okay, I have one question though. In Singapore, we cannot do talks on sex because it's a special permission that we need to apply for. Okay. I think in Malaysia also probably the same rule, right?
Not sure, to be honest, but I would think depends on the platform that we are using as well. Like, yeah, now it's online, so I guess there will be different kind of rules. But I can check it out. I can ask my trainer friends and see what they say about that.
Okay. So if there are people interested in it, we can do a session on that, because that's always the fun part. That's the part where you can laugh at each other and poke fun at each other. So bad, right? Okay, guys, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Good night.
Thanks,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good night.
Thank you.
How come got
Good
21
night.
chats? Hey, question. How
Yes,
come
yes.
the chat got 21 people but participants is 15?
Some people exited already.
No, what's that 21? You know the chat window? Oh, it means 21 people wrote something inside.
Yeah, which you have not read.
Oh, 22, yeah, the new messages.
Okay, 可以. Got some people left, man. I thought we had 15 people, one just left.
We started with 22.
Yeah, bigger number, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, there was 21 people at one point.
Wow. Okay. Who was it?
Some names drop out.
Interesting. It's nice to know that so many people are still interested in Western Astro, because actually Western Astro has been underplayed for a very long time. Because we are Chinese, so everybody's into party, you know. But actually Western Astro is very fun, especially when you combine the two. 好啦，good night 啦，拜拜。
Okay,
Go home.